Om Shanti. Good evening and welcome back to another segment of what I started to call the spiritual vaccine. The world is looking for something to cure a virus, and maybe if we begin to access the power of thought potential, we can cure much more than the virus, but we can also cure issues that are still troubling the soul. Today we decided to do a conversation and a meditation on the power of silence. And I have been observing more and more in the midst of all the noise and chaos and sometimes differences of opinion. Just to pause for a few moments can actually give you all the answers that you're looking for. Today Sister Gita and I just went driving to see a friend for something to drop off. Don't worry, social distancing. We went down to DC and there was hardly anyone out there. And the world was so quiet. It was so quiet. And it was so peaceful. And of course we looked around and we saw folks. Some looked like they were practicing social distancing. Maybe they all came from the same home and the same house, so it was fine for them to feel very connected. But the world was quiet. And as we were driving back in, there were folks washing their cars. There was a man who was well dressed in his pants and shirt, not shorts, not a t-shirt, a proper pants and a proper shirt, and he was mowing his lawn. And as I looked at that scene, I says, I bet he's not mowed his lawn for years. I saw a wonderful post by our wonderful friend, Andy Shalal from Busboy Poets, and we're sending him and his staff a lot of love. All of his 11 stores are closed, and I know that must be a huge, huge change for everyone. It is for everyone, but I'm sure it's got to be quite challenging. And he shared a post of a painting that he did of the skyline, and it was gorgeous. And so I texted Andy and I says, I bet you would have never done that if you were open. It's a time for reflection. It's a time to slow down. It's a time to pause. It's a time to revisit the self and to really begin to understand what was my purpose in the first place anyway. Why am I here? We're going through a really deep, deep process of transformation. And I hope you're able to recognize that. Yes, it's different. And yes, it'll be different even after this virus passes through. And so how are we preparing ourselves for that difference now? I think that's the important tool, the power of the preparation now. We're going to go through what silence means, not as an absence of sound. That could be more like peace. But the silence I wanted us to explore today is where we go through different stages, but the most important aspect of silence is, am I comfortable inside my skin? Is the soul at peace with itself? Does the soul feel at peace with itself? And slowing down the way the world has right now, it's a blessing. Just take a look at your life pre-corona. Running here, running there, being fast, not spending much time with the kids. I was looking at a mother swinging her baby and I thought, bet she hasn't done that in a long time. I bet she hasn't spent as much time with her child. Maybe mothers are going to be more at home cooking and just being with family. And maybe fathers will be outside mowing the lawn, making fixtures, getting the house together. I don't know. Maybe all of this is a balancing that's taking place. We're balancing out our thoughts, words, and actions. We're balancing out our motives and the way that we feel. We're balancing out our relationships, the way they work. But for me, I'm really focusing on just these feelings. Just whatever it is. It's just, there's certain little things that you do. And your intention is in doing it to just, I don't know, it's coming from a place within you that is serving you. It's not to show. And there's some people who, what do you call them, like trolls? Is that what you call them, trolls? Like when you do something, they have to attack or say, oh, this. You know, they're always attacking you on some certain levels. And I was sharing with Santosh that sometimes, you know, as folks, we do things without expecting to be attacked because it's just coming from the emergence of your heart. But when somebody says, "Oh, this, go," well, this you really didn't do this. It came from here. It's like this. We have to find a way to find our peace. If someone did a thoughtful act, or let's say someone put together a thoughtful video from their own love, from their love, I mean, it's just like, oh, that's lovely. But it's like an attack, or something comes after you. You know, there's always a critique somewhere. But here's how you can recognize if you have your silence. Does it disturb your spirit? Or are you unfazed by it? And you have to check in between. Because sometimes we feel like, I'm not disturbed, but. Or, but. Or, it's okay, stay beyond. So this energy of inner silence could be our greatest gift when we get out of this. To do the work, however challenging it might be, to be able to really look at your spirit and ask yourself, have I been taking care of myself? Have I been kind? Have I been compassionate? Have I been generous? Have I been pure at heart? Am I at peace with myself? And I think these are the questions we need to start to ask ourselves. The first thought I recognized when I woke up this morning was, is the thought that I'm having to just wake up, open my eyes and look at the room, is it even guided by light? Means, do I feel blessed to have another day? Do I feel blessed to have a moment of consciousness? Do I feel blessed that I have 2 feet that can touch the ground? Are your thoughts guided by light? Or did you wake up this morning worrying, complaining, being afraid? Because if we keep feeding those thoughts, it makes us peaceless. And when we become peaceless, it generates an energy, a vibration that doesn't really serve the body, the relationships, the environment, and the world. Dadi Janki has shared a lot of beautiful things on the power of silence, and I was reading them today and they really touched me, and I'm going to read a few aspects of that to you too. In addition to that, I'm going to read from our teachings in the Brahma Kumaris about the power of silence. So I'm going to invite you to get a pen and a paper to jot down what thoughts and feelings are going to come through as we go through a process of looking inwards and trying to sort out honestly what these feelings are describing to us. I was on a call this morning. We were on a meeting call with our morning class at 7:30. And after we did all the class and the conversations, we just took, was it about 2 or 3 minutes of silence? And when we took that silence, everything was answered. There was no music. There were no faces. There was no noise. There was just me and God in silence. And everything just fell away. Just little by little, it's not important. Let me share a video with you of our Daddy that's talking on the power of silence. As you know, if you've been keeping up with us every day, Daddy passed away on the 27th of March, India time. That was Thursday last week. And of course, we weren't able to take a flight. The cremation was done in less than 12 hours. India was on a lockdown. Everybody had to stay 6 feet apart, which is an interesting experience to do a cremation, to say the least. We got some permission to at least, put the sandalwood, light the fire, get all of that done. But for the days that she's been doing her final assignment, so to speak, in Ground Zero, we're just keeping up her picture here until the 13th day on April 9th. I hope that even when you look through her eyes, you can receive the purity of this person and her blessings, her natural quality of silence. Not that she didn't speak to anyone, but her mind was uncluttered. Her motives were clean. It's so rare to know someone, to have a relationship with someone who just wants the best for you, and they just keep moving on. So rare. But I feel that our practice of silence will be emerging more individuals like this as well, because our souls will become full and satisfied and rich, because it will be settled in the experience of pure actions, pure deeds, a heart of benevolence. That soul will give more than they take. They will have good wishes for others. They will be at peace. They will have a very deep connection to Source, to God. I keep driving, when I'm walking around or I'm in the car or something, I keep thinking, this coronavirus, everyone talks about it every day. But has everyone been talking about God? Not just a religious God, just God. The God that belongs to everyone, the energy that heals, the energy that's pure, the energy of light. That same light that has the ability to pass through our systems and flow through our system and radiate through our eyes, radiate through our smile, radiate through the generosity of our hands, radiate through the cells of the body, radiate through the vibrations of the space. There's just purity everywhere, and nothing is cluttered, because those individuals remember God deeply and purely, without any agenda. You're not even going to God for a cure, you're just going to God because of love, because that's where we need to live from. Enjoy this video from Dadi Janki.
Silence. मनुष्य कहते हैं हमको शांति चाहिए, तो हम अनुभव से कहते हूँ शांति तब आएंगी जब साइलेंस में जाएंगे, मन अंदर डीप जाएंगे, अंतर जाना माना सब बाहर की बातों को समेट के समा के मैं कौन हूँ अंदर जाओ, अंदर डीप जाओ। जितना अंदर जाएंगे इतना डीप जाओ, जब तक शांति तक, सच्ची शांति तक आत्मा अंदर से नहीं अनुभव किया है, तब तक जल्दी कोई संकल्प की उत्पत्ति मत करो। आदत पड़ गई है, देहमान के कारण, मन कर्मेंद्रों के वश होने के कारण बहुत भटकता है, चलायमान हो जाता है, डोलायमान हो जाता है। बुद्धि फिर अच्छा राइट रॉन्ग, सच झूठ, पाप पुण्य समझते हुए भी बुद्धि ठीक काम नहीं कर सकती। इसलिए परमात्मा बाप इशारा करते हैं, बच्चे मन को भटकना से छुड़ाने के लिए, बुद्धि को स्थिर बनाने के लिए अंदर जाओ, आवाज़ से परे जाओ। भले कान खुले है, आँख खुली है, पर जी चाहता है अंतर्मुखी होकर के एकाग्रता की शक्ति से शांति मेरा स्वधर्म है, शांति का सागर परमात्मा है, तो लिंक परमात्मा से जुड़ जाती। शांति आत्मा का अंदर जाने से अनुभव ये हुआ, मेरा स्व का धर्म ही शांत है। फिर उसमें ये भी अनुभव होता है, सत्य चित्त आनंद स्वरूप आत्मा हूँ। सत्यता क्या है? तो सच्चाई और शांति। साइलेंस में जाने से जो खो बैठे हैं वो वापस अनुभव होती है। साइलेंस में जाना, पहले तो सब दुनिया के आवाज़ों से, निगाहों से परे हो जाना, आवाज़ों से परे ले जाने वाला एक ईश्वर है। तो अंदर जब आत्मा शांत का अनुभव करती है तो परमात्मा से कनेक्शन जुटने से एक तरफ लाइट बने, दूसरी माइट मिल गई। लाइट एक है रोशनी, दूसरा हल्कापन, बॉडीलेस स्थिति बन जाती है। बॉडी कॉन्शियस में भारी बोन है। जब बॉडीलेस स्थिति बनती, शरीर से डिटैच हो जाते, ईश्वर से कनेक्शन जुटने से जैसे लाइट बने, माइट मिली, इतना प्योरिटी का, पीस का अनुभव आत्मा में हो जाता। तो प्योरिटी, पीस, लव, हैप्पीनेस, पावर साइलेंस से ऐसे जैसे खोया हुआ खजाना फिर से मिलता है, या परमात्मा बाप से कनेक्शन होने से जैसे साइंस ने कमाल कर दिखाई है। तो साइंस है, जब पावर हाउस से कनेक्शन है तो सब कुछ मिलता है। जैसे ऊपर वाले से, ऑलमाइटी से कनेक्शन से जो हम इंसान की आत्मा को शांति की शक्ति चाहिए, वो शक्ति स्वयं ही शांत रहने का नेचुरल स्वभाव बन जाता है। फिर साइलेंस पावर से अपने ऊपर भी जीत, और साइलेंस पावर से दुनिया में सबके साथ संबंध में आते हुए भी सफलता सदाई ऐसे साथ देती। फिर अंदर से आवाज़ निकलेगा, परमात्मा की दी हुई साइलेंस की शक्ति काम कर रही है। ओम शांति।
Shanti. Welcome back. Did you notice that every word Daddy shared, you could feel like you were going deeper into that place of silence for you? Like you were really thinking about, yes, do I have this deep connection to Source, to God, to the Almighty, to the Supreme Father, that it reveals, yes, peace and love and power has to exude through my presence, has to exude through my personality. I could feel every word. I've seen that video, I can't tell you how many times. I don't know if it's because her part is finished as Dadi Janki and she's moving on to another one, but as I saw it again today, it was like, wow, every word she said was right. Every word, right, Santosh? It was like, this is silence. That wherever you go, you create peace. Whatever you do, you create peace. You know, and that's a sign of your deeper contentment as well. Such a privilege to have known someone like her. You know, when she pointed her finger at me when I was in my early 20s and says, Jen, come with me, my life was never the same. I was talking to Sister Veronica in the Miami Brahma Kumaris Center, and she was saying that when Daddy, puts her eyes on you and she focuses on you, it's just your whole life is going to shift. And what was the depths of Dadi Janki's silence? That she could see your future so clear, even when you couldn't. There are countless stories of instruments in the Brahma Kumaris who have said, Daddy said you'll be this. Daddy says you'll do that. Daddy says you'll be that. I remembered once, remember that she kept telling me, you're going to uplift millions, you're going to uplift millions. And I used to go, not me. I like to hang out with my friends. And just since she's gone, I'm not going to do anything like that. I think if I deepen my relationship with God, God will uplift all of his children. But he could use you, me, any of us that are clear vessels to uplift his other children. So then I started to think, that's what Daddy was saying. Become clear, become pure, Jen, become kind, become peaceful. God will uplift millions through you. And I've been listening to that blessing, more so since she's left. 3 times, different occasions, she would look, she would say it, and I would be like, Daddy, almost as if I was cursing myself. Sometimes you have to think about how you sabotage your own destiny and your own fortune. Sometimes if you ever watch, you can say to somebody, I'm not afraid, but deep down you're like scared. And there's some people who might be very, very scared, but deep down they're like, we're going to be okay. There's still this duality of energy, and that's a sign that there still isn't inner stillness. There still isn't silence. So if somebody who is pure and has a vision of you says, you will be this, you will be playing this part, then you say, yes. I'm humbled. I will put the qualifications in. It's not me as in I, me, or mine. A lot has been changing in me. It's like, it's God. It's a beautiful word. I don't know if it's Sanskrit or Hindi, but it's say God is Karan, Karavan, Har. He knows the deepest feelings, but he also will get things done through others. So the more the energy of God is flowing through you, through your honesty, through your cleanliness of spirit, through your purity of heart, then whoever you talk to, however you interact, whatever way you need to be, you'll just be you. And there'll be something beautiful happening through you because God's energy is able to flow through you and it's not getting obstructed with any negative personality traits that are still owning you, so to speak. You know what I said in one of our classes of karma? There's algae and then there's the alloy that's mixed into the gold. So if there's a lot of alloy or a lot of algae, then God's light's trying to come in, but the algae is so thick, as Daddy was saying, the body consciousness is so thick, the light's not coming through. But in order to allow the light to come through, I need to tell God, look, this is what I've been dealing with. He says, oh yeah, I see it. Then he shines light on it, and it's like he starts to absolve it. And little by little, he starts to fill up your personality like, it's kind of like the drop in a bucket. Eventually it becomes full. So each time you can keep remembering God with love and feeling of how he would guide you. He will always guide you in a way that would give joy, respect, creativity, innocence, kindness, peace, purity. When you run your company, when you take care of your family, when you run a country, when you work at a restaurant, you work at a medical facility, that's just what will happen. So I'm going to read something from Dadi Janki for you today. This is on silence from her Om Om Shanti book. Om 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 Shanti. 3 times Om Shanti. Here's what Daddy is saying. Silence is about finding what lies deep inside us, beyond the mind. This is why there's an expression, go into silence. It means to become introverted, to withdraw from the senses which are otherwise very busy, trapping us in all sorts of external things. In extroversion, we are ruled by what the eyes see and what the ears hear, and this has become our habit. We constantly look and talk about things going on around us. However, just observe the poor quality of such conversations. With introversion, we turn within and become aware of how our thoughts work inside us. We see how negative and unnecessary thoughts take away our strength and make us weak. They cause pain and a loss of peace. But in silence, we are able to separate ourselves from our thoughts, the pattern of thoughts. We come into the silence of God. God's incorporeal silence is like an underground spring. We dig deep, deep down to it, and then it is there to quench us. It means to bring ourselves into the presence of God, and the experience is beyond words. It brings truth to us. Dadi Janki. Each and every one of those words are so powerful. They can take us very deep within and help us to truly know ourselves. Let's try that for a little bit. Let's experiment a little bit on our own power of silence. Try to clear away your space. If the kids are around, invite them to come and sit next to you or in your lap, and I'll give you a few seconds to get settled if you're not already. And I'm just assuming, you're sitting, maybe you're just tuning in to our hour together and just being connected. I'd also like to share that the Brahma Kumaris students around the world have been holding collective yoga and collective meditation since this all began. And on the East Coast, even now, there are hundreds that are sitting in silent reflection in connection to the Supreme Source. So I'm inviting you to join into that wave. Just like how you can watch the news and there'll be millions of people joining into the wave of whatever Fox, CNN, CBS, ABC is telling you. You get into the vibration of whatever they're dishing out. We're inviting you to get into the vibration of hundreds of thousands of people around the world, creating the vibration of God's love, God's silence, God's peace, making them into more truthful people. Just imagine how the planet will feel. And gently blow out. Breathe in again. And gently blow out. Breathe in again. And gently exhale. No need to rush. Keep your eyes gently opened, but reflective. Start to pull your attention or feel the attention of your thoughts are going inwards, behind your eyes. And I'll present to you one question to start us off. And the question is, ask yourself right now, who have I been for all these years? And with that one question, I simply ask you to listen in silence. If anything emerges very clearly, just write it down or try to keep it stored. Who have I been all these years? Keep observing all the thoughts that emerge and see what they're saying. Are you seeing scenes, faces, events? Or is it just a feeling? Who have I been for all these years? Let your inner silence respond. If I have the power to choose, and I do, what choice would I make at this exact moment to transform my life, to make it better? What can I do to make my life better? Allow the silence to respond. Let's pause for a moment and just sit in that place for a while.